Hello, my name is Willie Brown, and I'm going to try to attempt to kind of draw my life video type of thing for this video assignment, because I've always kind of wanted to do that. So, let's begin with my year. I am currently, we're going to switch out the cursive real fast, because I'm not great at that, but I'm currently a freshman in my second semester here at Baylor, and I am majoring in psychology. It's going to draw like a little brain. Yeah, not too shabby. I am from Houston, one could say, which is a little south of, good old Waco. Ooh, that's a horrid Texas. But it's only a 3-hour drive, so I'm not that far away. But originally, I am from way up north in a little town in Wisconsin called Sheboygan. Very small. I moved down to Texas about 8 years ago now. Pretty crazy, just for my dad's work, but being young and all, and for moving down for 4th grade, it was pretty huge for me. But anyways, my said family actually consists of 4 members. I have my mom, I have my dad, and then I have 2 younger brothers. One is 16 and one is 10. And then my life type of ordeal consists of probably, I'd say, about 3 main sections, which I'd say is probably sports, video games, of course, and social stuff. In terms of sports, I have quite the long list of attempted things. I wouldn't say accolades, but I played rugby before. I'm trying to play football here at Baylor. I've played basketball. I've played soccer. And the list kind of just goes on and on. I'd say it's easier to probably list the sports I haven't played, which are hockey. I have not played volleyball, other than maybe in like a gym class. I have not played field hockey either, kind of included with hockey, but other than that, I've played bowling before, almost anything really. I've even played chess. I've even been in chess tournaments. But yeah, so the competitive aspect of me, I'd say, is probably a big part of my life. But on the other hand, getting to Baylor, my senior year, I was just a wee little high schooler. I actually injured myself on the football field. Basically, my middle linebacker got completely laid out and flattened trying to go for a tackle. And then I went in over him with my left leg as such to tackle this big old beefy running back. And I did it successfully. I was wrapped up like that, one leg over, and then he tripped forward. So he was like that, and my teammate was right there. And one of my legs were right here, I think it was right there. But the downward motion, and then 3 of my teammates also came at the same time. One of whom was like about 280 pounds. all tackled me, and my legs stayed up, but my body went that way. So I basically ended up tearing my ACL, MCL, damaging my PCL, and I had a small bone fissure, which is quite the list. On paper, it sounds like a lot smaller, but whenever you hear it, everyone's always like, oh, wow, so you really messed up for me. And yeah, I kind of did. But I worked pretty hard. I recovered in physical therapy, had to do leg lifts and whatnot. But it took me about the length that it would take someone to recover from an ACL tear, but I messed up quite a lot more than just my ACL. So I'm pretty proud of how I've come, especially since that was only this past November. And I'm hoping that now I can get onto the Baylor football team. Anyways, let's talk about another classification of my life. Socially and video games, of course. No one wants to hear about video games, but they're fun. What can you say? Socially, I like to hang out with people. I love to meet new people. It's just kind of my thing. If there's one thing I can be remembered for my time on this earth, I wanted everyone to just say that they were happy they got a chance to know me. And video games wise, I am quite the protege. Protege? I don't know. This isn't a spelling class. But a lot of my friends are some of the top in the world, so I kind of get a bad rap, but I'm not terrible. But it's something I enjoy. Let's see some other favorite things of mine. Just gonna go down a quick list. Movies. Will Smith. That's all I gotta say. If it's a Will Smith movie, I've probably seen it. I probably love it. I'm a little sad how many people haven't seen some Will Smith movies here at Baylor, but I'm trying to change that one person at a time. I actually brought up every single Will Smith movie I owned. It's currently at my apartment. If you need to be educated, just let me know, and I will be able to rent one of those out to you for a price of free, so you can become more acquainted with proper cinema. TV shows? I don't know, honestly. I got asked this in another class. It's kind of a whatever I'm feeling type of thing, you know? I wouldn't say I specifically have a favorite TV show. I've watched quite a lot of TV shows in my lifetime. I wouldn't say I necessarily watch TV shows too much, but it's kind of just whatever's on, so I can't really give you a solid answer for that. But in terms of books, I loved reading books as a kid. I remember when I was in the 4th grade, which, may I remind you, is the first year that I moved down to Texas, I met my best friend named Ethan, and he introduced me to reading books. And I, being the competitive self I was, we had an AR reading program. I don't know if anyone else had some type of thing like that, but basically what it did was it kept track of your books read, and it kept track of the word count. And seeing this as a competition, I got the most in my class with 2,300,000 words read, which I can't remember, but it was somewhere in between like 40 and 60 bucks. And that was just in 1 year. So I was pretty proud of myself. And it kind of puts you at a level based on your grade, like kind of like a estimate of what you should be reading. So like, say there was a bigger, bulkier book, someone in the class wasn't allowed to check it out unless you kind of had permission and kind of had that higher level. And I was on level 12. So I was pretty proud of myself for that. But it basically was by grade level. So being 12, that's like grade 12 in 4th grade. So I was pretty proud. But anyways, some favorite books of mine, I'd say, are just basically anything non-realistic yet still applicable. I'd go as far to say something that's based off real life could be mildly interesting to me. The part where I get lost at with nonfiction is whenever you see stuff like this. They got a big old map out and they're jotting stuff down and you're trying to just pay attention to the story, and all of a sudden they're talking about this small little city all the way over here where you've never been before and you have no idea where that is, and you're trying to make a mental picture in your head, and they're talking about it like you've heard about it before. And I'm just not about that type of geography studying just to read a book. But anyways, let's move on to food. I love food. Personally, when I moved down to Texas, my mother took away my microwave, and she said I had to learn how to cook. So I currently can cook about everything, honestly. Even if I didn't know how to cook it, you could probably give me the recipe, and I could probably make a good 6 out of 10 attempt. But my favorite food, I'd say, is Thai food. I remember in Wisconsin there was a Thai place that I used to go to. They had duck curry. And in Texas, Houston, I also was able to find the duck curry. Probably a little more seasoned than it would be in Wisconsin, but still good. Still one of my favorite meals to this day. And then let's move to music. Music's always played a pretty big aspect in my life. I consider myself someone who just likes partaking in a lot of genres of music. If there's anything that I was to be presented with, I might judge it a little critically, seeing how much music that I do partake in. If something seems a little too easy to produce, unless it's produced easily for the point of it being produced easily, I might say it's pretty bad. But for the most parts, I like most types of music. This does have one exception, though, and that is that terrible, awful drumming noise that people call country music. It's my best go at a guitar. But yeah, that's we don't got to talk about that. I might be Texas, but I'm not Texan, if you get my drift. But anyways, other than that, I'd probably listen to most genres of songs. So if anyone has some cool songs, I'd love to hear them, honestly. And then hobbies. My hobbies include almost anything competitive. And that comes down to video games. That comes down to board games. Any games. If it has games in it, I'll see you there, for sure. Like Monopoly. I don't care if it's 10 hours or 32 hours. You ain't leaving there without getting some smoke. But that is definitely a very big aspect of my life. I love playing stuff, interacting with stuff. Anything where it's deemed as a challenge and you can get a group of people to do it, I'd love to be there, honestly. Let's see. What do I hope to get out of this course? Well, let's be honest. Everyone's gonna say, even if they don't say it, they're gonna say it, they're gonna think it in their hearts. They have to take the course. Personally, though, I kind of enjoy reading. I don't mind that big intimidating read if it's good. I'll try my best to do it. Thumbs up. Yeah, if it's good. So all I'm hoping is that I can have success in the class while also enjoying some good reads. That's a pretty low bar, but I don't know. Pretty important to me because I enjoy reading. So I like it to be enjoyable. And then let's talk about the final few questions. How would family describe me? And something inspirational? And then just a neat little thing. Family describe me. Personally, when I am at my house, I am a lot less outgoing. They would probably describe me as someone who just sits at home playing video games all day, to be honest. Which, when I'm at home, I kind of do. But that's different. Because when I'm here, I feel like I can better represent myself with friends that are more readily available. It's different being in a city because you can't just contact people like that. But yeah, my family still loves me. So, but they kind of think I'm a nerd. In terms of the actual factoids about my family, I'd say that they're very outgoing, to say the least. My mom and dad have been together for about 20-ish years, maybe 21, and married for about 19. My 16-year-old brother is almost as tall as me now. I used to dwarf him, but I still got a few inches, so working with that. But he loves athletics as well as sports. My littler brother, he is more of my gamer quiet side, but he still loves enjoying those type of things with me as well. But mainly I'd say that we all get along for the most part. Brothers will be brothers, but it's a solid bond. I'd say it's a solid bond. Inspiration. Something I think is deeply rooted inside of what I find to be my way of living is the aspect of hard work. Because when it comes down to it, I know that there is a such thing as genetics. One person can be huge, one person can be small. And let's be honest, this tall person, they're going to have quite a few things going. This small person, maybe they can't join the NBA. If that was their dream, it might be a little bit harder. But I still believe any person can accomplish what they want to accomplish if they just put in enough hard work. You look at Muggsy Bogues. He was what? Like 5 foot nothing? 4 foot nothing? Nobody knows. He was small though. And he still dominated in the NBA. Not even in the NBA with weaklings. In the NBA with some of the people that now get to go on commercials. He was a dominating force. You look at people that have disabilities that manage to play professional sports. You look at people that had disabilities and were able to establish themselves as some of the best, smartest thinkers out there. And you look at it and you have to say that at what point can you say that what you're saying is because of just the way you are is just an excuse to be what you think you can't. And I always keep this quote to my chest. Something my dad always told me when I was little, and it's something that I always think about every time I go to do something. And that is that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work as hard. And it's true, because you could take the most gifted person in the world, But if you give them enough time, I believe any human being could get to where they are and surpass them if they put in more effort than that person could. And it's true, because even though people claim they do a lot, even the people you see on your phone when you pull up an app and it's some dude who works out 24 hours a day and 5 days a week, when they log off, that's just simply not true. No person gives 100% of their effort all the time, because it's just not possible. Therefore, if one person was to give as much as they could with everything they have, I believe that if they didn't get to that bar where they wanted to be, they'd at least get close enough where they would be proud of themselves. And I think that's the only thing that really matters in life. Just feeling that you did the best with the tools that you were given. Anyways, I'm going to end this off with just a neat little fact about me. Just a little ending anecdote. But something cool about my family is that we had some of the most notable groups of individuals inside of our, well, not inside, but interacting with our family. So, I'm going to start down and work up. But, Nazi Germany. My mother's side, my mother's white, my father's black. My mother's side is Polish. So they actually came to America originally to Chicago, fleeing from the Nazis. So that's just kind of something cool. Going forward, in said Chicago, my grandfather's uncle was second to the Al Capone. And my grandpa actually remembers at his 3rd birthday that Al Capone actually came to it. Al Capone was at my grandpa's 3rd birthday. And that's pretty cool. Thirdly, my dad's uncle was the boss of the Jeffrey Dahmer. If you don't know who Jeffrey Dahmer is, then you're probably in a better place than most people, because most people don't really want to know. But he was no bueno. When you think of a scary movie with a guy with the fridge full of bodies, he's what that was based off of. Let's just say that. But my great uncle, I guess it would be, worked at a chocolate factory, and he was directly over the Jeffrey Dahmer. He remembers one night he even got an invite to go back to his place to get some drinks. But he said he could not go because it was his wife's anniversary or something, and she'd be upset. So, yeah, that kind of saved his life in a way. And he even remembers when the whole chase was going off, he remembers seeing on TV, and he was like, hey, that's Jeff from work. Like, what's he doing on the TV? It's so weird. But yeah, that's pretty creepy to think of. So yeah, just some interesting facts about my family. And one more. The KKK. Yes. I had someone in my family who was in the KKK. Yes. They were second to, what is it called? The wizard? The Grand Master? Wizard guy? The first guy. They were second in charge. On my dad's side. Yes. My black father. It turns out that the daughter of said second up second highest man, ran away with a black guy. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. And that was my great-great-grandmother. So yeah, crazy how things can turn out. And then down the line, you know, met my mom. And now you have me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little draw my life thing. I'm not exactly the best artist, but I tried my best. Hopefully this all works out. But yeah, that's me. Anyways, hope I have a good time in this English class, and hope this becomes an enjoyable year.